So hello everyone, it is your girl Jail Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and I'm so excited today because y'all know what? You know what time it is. We got Tina all here in the background for Tina's video, and this is the Oden's Eye and Tina the Fancy Face Hummingbird palette. Y'all, I am so excited. I've been waiting for this palette to get to me, and I'm so thirsty. I bought 3. Yes, you heard right, 3. One of those trays. I bought 3. So this one we're going to use in the video. I have one just as a keepsake for it to look nice and pretty for me. Remember what it looks like after I destroy this one, because I plan on using it a lot. And then I have the one, of course, I promised you all for the giveaway, so that's why I had to order 3. So don't come for me with my 3 palettes from Tina, okay? Leave me alone. I want you all to experience the palette just like I'm going to experience the palette, so I made sure I got you one. So it retails for $34. This is what this gorgeous palette looks like on the inside. Let's go ahead and let's move my face out the way so we can just marvel at the awesomeness of the palette. Look at it. Just look at it. I love the color story Tina came up with. I have some palettes I am going to pair it with, and some palettes I'm going to show you that I feel like would be good to pair it with. But first, let's read the cute little card that came in that has Tina, Annette, and Judy. So I bought Annette's palette as well. Of course, I bought 2 of Annette's palette too, because I love her as well. With the one from Menagerie, I didn't buy 2 just because I realized they had a smaller supply than Oden's Eye could, so I knew I could buy 2 and I wouldn't be taking from someone else. So I kept that in mind as well. So it says, creating this palette with Oden's Eye has been so surreal and a dream come true. I hope you guys will love this palette as much as I do. I can't wait to see your looks that will bring out your inner dragon. So that's with love from Judy. Now let's read Tina's. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me and celebrating the magic of our beautiful tropical hummingbird. I hope this palette brings you a bit of sunshine and brightens your day with color. The Fancy Face, Tina. Let's leave what Annette says. It says, thank you all so much for supporting this collaboration. I hope you have as much fun playing with it as I did creating it, Annette. And then let's read what Oden's Eye had to say. So it says, working with Judy, Tina, and Annette is an attempt for Oden's Eye to focus on the ancient legends of different cultures. Thank you for this amazing experience. Love from Oden's Eye. So now, I did not get Judy's palette just because we all know I am not a warm tone person, so it had nothing to do with Judy. I don't have anything against Judy. It's just, I'm not really in warm tones. We all know that. I'm a cool tone queen and a colorful queen. So, Tina's is the one I got because I'm a colorful queen. And then, of course, Annette's had my blues and my greens in it along with my grungier matte tones that I live for. So, I'm going to tell you all about my journey with Tina when we go and actually put on the palette in one of the 3 looks, because I'm gonna try to squeeze in 3 looks. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but you know, I'm gonna try though. It's like, I think like 11 o'clock at night right now. Yeah, it's past 11 o'clock at night though, so I don't know if I'm gonna get to all 3, but you know, I'm gonna try to do 3. But I'll show you what palettes I want to pair with this before I go off camera and figure out my life, because I have no idea as usual. I'm gonna do what I do with all the videos. We just gonna wing it like I do with life. I want to pair the all of the 2 palette with it, because I feel like it has some extra pops of purple that Tina's palette is missing. And we know blues, and we know I live for a blue and purple moment. So honey, the fact that there's oranges and blues in here, I feel like these bright oranges will go nice with the corally shade right there, and then like the blues and greens go nice with the blues and greens that already exist in Tina's palette. So that's the first one I plan on doing it with. Then I feel like the Norns palette would be good to pair Tina's palette with in the wintertime, since she only has a couple of darker mattes. If you want to go a little bit more neutral with her palette or do an all matte look, I feel like this will be a good palette for her. Now I know it doesn't necessarily look like it, but you gotta look at that bottom row. It has really bright colors in it like this, and then there's a couple of pops of greens and reds in there. So I feel like it'll pair really well with this palette as well, which is another reason I decided to go with the Norns palette to pair with Tina's palette. Now the rest of them are from Oden's Eye, but I think I'd start with the Oden's Eye palette since I owned a lot of Oden's Eye palettes. Next, I have Annette's Serenity palette, and believe it or not, I do think this will go really well with Tina's palette, just because it has some of the grungier tones that'll match some of the grungier tones in Tina's palette. As you can see, it has some of the brighter pinks that can go with this shade right here and the Infamous Fancy shade. And then you have some of those deeper blues and greens that can go with the blues and greens in Tina's palette. So That's another palette I plan on doing palette mashups with. Then I have the Escape Pod from Collabs. I feel like the glittery topper shades might go nice as inner corner shades with this. And plus, it'll give a more summery popping effect, like that bright green and that pink can go nice with this. Again, corally shade. Then you got a neutral brown for people who want a more neutral shade to go with that darker red at the top. So I feel like this will be a nice pairing palette as well. And then the last one I have, and I feel like it's going to be perfect for wintertime because it has jewel tones in it. And then Tina gives you some of these grungier jewel tones, but still gives you some warmth in it. Is the Temptalia, what is it, Radiant Reflections palette alongside Tina's palette. See, you get a lot of darker, grungier jewel tone mattes, so go along with the bright colors in here, and it'll be a nice fun mix and match palette. And from what I remember, they say that she made these palettes for you to pair with other palettes, so I feel like they'd be great to pair with Tina's palette. So now I'm gonna go get my life in order, go off camera. I don't know if I remember to tell you all these retail for $34 a piece, so if you want to get it, it's $34 for each one. They unfortunately didn't have a bundle, which I thought would have been really cool, so that way you could just bundle all of them together. Or they might have, and I just overlooked it because I'm telling y'all, I was so thirsty. I literally just threw like 3 of Tina's palettes in the cart, and then I ended up having to go back and buy Annette's afterwards because when it was processed, I was like, crap, I didn't grab Annette's palette. That's how excited I was to grab Tina's palette. I just left the other one down by the riverside, and I was like, crap. So I made another order. But that one hasn't showed up yet. Tina showed up first since I ordered Tina's a few minutes earlier than Annette. So hopefully Annette's will get here tomorrow and I can film with that on my day off. But I did get some more Oden's Eye palettes. So I bought 4 of the little ones. I usually don't buy the little ones, but I was like, I was having to throw it in the bag moment. I'm like, we spent all this money anyway on Tina. Let's just throw some more Oden's Eye in the bag. And oddly enough, one of you all told me I was one of the first black creators that you saw using Oden's Eye, so I think it's so fun that I get to experience one of my favorite black creators now making a palette with Oden's Eye. Anyway, like I said, I'm finally taking myself off camera, stop rambling like a crazy person, and like get the look done. So let's get look 1 done, okay? Okay. So I feel like we all knew the first look was gonna be blue just because, I mean, it's me. There are blues and purples and greens in the palette, so I'm gonna use them. So I put Fancy in the inner corner. Then I took the shade Lagoon and dragged it on the outer V all into the crease. Then I put clear blue on top of that one, and then I use Blue Fields and Hummingbird to put on the lid. But I feel like I want a little bit extra pop in the inner corner, so I'm thinking I'm going with the shade Tropic, like right up in here. I was trying to save Tropic to use with feathers, but I think I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in there now. So let me get my little brush and dip in the Tropics a little bit there, and just put it like right in this part right here. I just want a little something extra. No, just a little extra. Yes, to get a little extra I was looking for. And then we'll turn it over and put the purple right on top, just to blend it over a little bit there. Okay, so that's better. So now I can tell y'all my story of the fancy face I put on this eyeshadow primer. So when I first got on YouTube, you know, I saw the typical YouTubers that they push up in the algorithm, as opposed to, you know, like a lot of people look like me. So I was going on a journey and a hunt and trying to find people who look like me. And I forgot what video it was that Tina had put up that had that they suggested to me. But I think I had typed in like black content creators or of black women in beauty or something to that effect, and Tina popped up. So I was like, oh, okay, this lady seems cool. So I clicked on her, and that's how I found Tina when I first started my makeup journey in 2015. So I've been on the fancy face scene for a long time now, and I always felt like, well, why doesn't Tina get collabs? Because I felt like she always was just as informative as everyone else. I always felt like she had just as much, you know, knowledge as everyone else, and I felt like her skill level was just as nice as everyone else. We're gonna start with the Lagoon on the outer V. So I would always be like, well, why ain't nobody giving Tina anything? Like, why is everyone else, I feel like, getting all these opportunities? Because that was back in the day when, you know, like, they had like 3 or 4 content creators that just got to do everything all the time. And when Jeffree Star was still an important person. But yeah, so I wasn't, I never understood why she wasn't like being acknowledged or getting any clone time, and I was always like, if she ever gets anything, because she's helped me so much in my makeup journey, I was like, I will be one of the first people in line to grab this palette. So I was gonna like start messaging people. Well, what day was that? The day that Oden's I announced that they were doing collabs with people, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They're coming out with a with some palettes. That's nice. I'm gonna buy them because, you know, I just love Oden's Eye, so I'm buying them because the quality is good. They're reasonable price, and, you know, I like to support any brands. Just like I just like to support luxury brands. So I look up and it's Tina's palette, and I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? Tina got a palette. I'm like, okay, now it's officially the year of the fancy face, because I was like, she got the 100,000 I felt like she deserved, just like all the other content creators have had for a while. And now she up here like making me palettes. So I was just like, yes. I was just so elated. And the cool thing is, I think I was like one of the first people to leave a message on like the picture when I saw it. Or at least I know I was one of the first like few people to like it. And I was just like, oh my God. And my mom like, wait, like it was in the middle of the night too. So like I was like, yes. And like really loud. And so I woke up my mom. Y'all, that's how excited I was. I woke up my mom and she was like sleeping. She's like, what's going on? Why are you yelling? I was like, Tina got a palette. She's like, who? I was like, the Jamaican lady I always be watching on YouTube. She was like, oh. She's like, that's what you're yelling about? Yes. But see, my mom doesn't realize how long I have been watching Tina on YouTube and how long, you know, I felt like she was deserving of, you know, what she has now, which is what we're using right now, which I'm still so excited about. So she didn't realize that, like, you know, once I told her, I'm like, it's been a really long time, and I feel like this lady has always, you know, helped me out with makeup and things that I needed, and, you know, was very deserving of this opportunity. So I was like so excited. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm just elated. I can't imagine not being able to experience this with Tina, because I feel like I have gone on a makeup journey with Tina while I was trying to do my makeup and get into makeup. Now we're taking the shade Hummingbird and putting it on top of Blue Fields like I talked about. And random side note, a lot of the stuff I have on my face right now is from Tina's last video that went up my top 3 favorite products in each category. So I have on the Westman Atelier foundation. I'm going to blame Tina for me buying that. I will not take any sort of personal responsibility for buying this foundation whatsoever. It was expensive. Remember, I told y'all, I was like, I'm not buying it. They out here trying it. And then Tina put it on. It was like, oh, credit card, take it. Thank you. Sephora, take the card. So I bought it based upon like Tina put it on, and it worked. The timing worked out perfectly for me because I bought it when they had 20% off foundation sale. So I was like, yes, I will buy it now for sure, because, you know, I don't have to pay boo-hoos of money for it. I mean, it was still a good grip. I think it was like $50 something with the 20% off. And they already have another 20% off sale coming now, because they have the what's that palette? They have the Friends and Family sale going on. So starting October the 1st, you can get 20% off. I'm going to use the shade Fancy now at Sephora. I think you can only use it once though, which is still fine, because you got to think you can use it in October. And then next month will be the sale. And if you're rouge like me, you'll still have off 20% off. Look at that shade and how gorgeous it is. Oh my God. Pack a little bit more down here. Just so I feel like this color can truly be represented. I feel like it's getting PC down here, but I haven't done like 3 eye looks before I started this video, so that might be why it's doing that to me. I honestly don't know, but this is our first finished eye look. Y'all know these are my type of tones. A blue, green, and purple moment is all I need, but this time we just did like a blue, turquoise, and purple, but still that will suffice. I'm absolutely in love. Let me go off camera and get a second look done. So I'm thinking we'll stick to these tones this time. So I kind of want to do these tones, and I was gonna like bring this in, and then my last look was gonna be like a little cool tone section with that, and then we we're gonna call it a day. But you know, we'll see where it takes us. I kind of wanted to just go down the rows and do an eye look like this row, then that row, then this row, but knowing me, I'm just gonna kind of wing it and do whatever I feel like, just like I said. So we're gonna go off camera. We're gonna probably use these tones and then maybe that tone. I don't know, we'll see, but I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay, round two. Okay, yeah, so here's my second look. Y'all know I do the lower lash line to save time, so I decided we need to use the gloom again just because we know I love a blue moment. And then I used the orange toward the back of the eye, which is swallowtail, and then I use feathers toward the front. Then I use fancy in the inner corner again just because I'm living for that shade. The last look I'm going to do is going to be more of a cool tone look, so I think I'd give y'all a little bit of brightness with these pinks and greens and oranges just because, you know, I love that. So I started off with the shade Hibiscus. Can you focus on me, please? Yes. So I started with Hibiscus, and that's what I put in the outer V and all in the crease. So you go ahead and blend that like so. So like I was saying, so I used products that Tina liked in her 3 categories video, and so I used the Kosas setting powder, the cloud setting powder. Now Tina says you should get a shade lighter than what you normally do because it oxidizes. I bought the shade I normally use just because I knew it was summertime and it was you know, going to work out for me because you usually get dark in the summertime. So I bought the shade I normally would wear on my skin, and just if it oxidizes fine, because since I had to try it out in the summer it would work out for me. But I'm just telling you all, going to winter, you might want to take what she said into consideration because I'm not going to be able to use that shade in the summertime. Of course, my battery wants to die now. So, but anyway, like I was saying, I won't be able to use that shade. So I'm going to just feather this out. And then I will cut off the camera, and then you'll see how I put the orange and the green on. And then I put fancy in the inner corner again. So I'll be right back. Okay? Okay. Yeah, but like I was saying, so just keep that in mind when you are buying that Kosas powder. If you're interested in trying it, you're gonna have to buy a shade lighter because it does oxidize. Now we're gonna take the Swallowtail, and of course she loves Mother's concealer just like I do, so I have that underneath the eye. That'll be fun since I was using her palette to use some of her favorite products as well, so that's what I went ahead and did. So I think those are the only 3 I had that she liked. I used my Tasha the Liquid Silk Canvas, but from what I remember, she likes the Gucci primer. I never bought that one, so I don't know if it's good or not. According to Tina, it's good. So it's just the late Mel Thompson was talking about how it messed up her face really bad. So I was like, I didn't want to risk it. So I personally didn't buy it to try it. Next, let's take this shade Feathers. So I blend that towards the back of the eye, on top of the orange. Make a nice little, you know, blended moment there. Y'all know I love doing looks like this because it looks like you got a dual chrome on. And then you don't have to buy a dual chrome, just use 2 different shades. And when I turn my head, see the orange. Then when I turn my head, you see green. This is one of my personal little secrets. I don't know if somebody new is watching this video or not, so I like to mention certain things sometimes. It's like dual chromes for free, just blend them into each other. Problem solved. But I'm really feeling this look like, y'all. I feel like I look like a tropical bird myself, and I'm here for it. Now we're going to take the shade Fancy again, just because I'm living for it. And it's going to be our inner corner shade once more. I think with the last look, I'm going to use it on the lid. I think I like using it so much because she's seen the fancy face, so I feel like I should use the fancy shade as much as possible. So I will most likely be using this on the lid in the last look. Plus, since it's supposed to be like the dual chrome, really cool special shade, I want to see how it looked on the lid as opposed to in the inner corner like we've done in the first couple of looks. So this is the finished second eye look with the Hummingbird palette from Tina the Fancy Face. So I'm gonna go off camera, take my look at me, I think I'm sexy photos once more. Then we're gonna get into the last look, which is gonna be a more cool toned look that's appropriate for fall. So you can see as you use this palette in the summer, spring, fall, whenever you want. Okay? Okay. Okay, y'all. So last eye look. So I told y'all we were gonna put Fancy on the lid. I put a little bit of Hummingbird toward the back. I put Fancy toward the front. I took the shade Star Apple, that's what's on our outer V right here on the side, and then I just dusted Lagoon back underneath the eye, because when I went to go take off the other eye look, of course that came off, and I just put Lagoon on the other side again to save time. So let's get into it, because it's like 12 something in the morning, girl. I'm tired, girl. I just thank the Lord I have the day off. But I still have to come back here tomorrow to clean up, if you all remember, or you might be new so you don't know. I filmed videos at my grandmother's house, which is like an hour away from my house, and she died about a little over 2 months ago now. So every Tuesday and Wednesday, which is my days off from work, I bring my mom out here so she can start cleaning out, because I have a bigger car than my mom. My mom has one of those cross runners, or what do they call the little baby cars that are low to the ground, that or want to be sports cars or whatever. I think it's called a cross runner or something. She has one of those, and so her car won't fit like anything. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here with a Jeep, so I have to bring her out here on my days off so that we can start cleaning out my grandmother's house, so that we can eventually, of course, sell it. So I'm gonna have to be back out here again. So I'm like, I was trying not to make myself a whole bunch of brushes, but at the same time I was like, I don't want to like mess up the look by trying to be lazy and not, you know, just pick up another brush. So I'm like, I'm gonna wash these brushes tomorrow when I have to come back out here. But I was like, we're not washing tonight. It's like 12 something at night, and I still gotta drive like half an hour to get back to my house. Hopefully it'll be in half an hour, because it's the middle of the night and there shouldn't be near as much traffic as there normally is. But yeah, I was like, point is, I'm not washing brushes tonight. And y'all know how I am about washing brushes. Like, when we done with the video, you need to be washing brushes. That's one thing I don't play about, and Colorful Camille's with me on that. Like, you gotta wash brushes, girl. So I'm gonna wash them tomorrow. We're just not gonna wash them today, because I'm like, I can't be bothered. And since I know for a fact I'm coming out here tomorrow, I might as well just wait till then, right? Like, why are we trying to do it sooner? Like, don't do that. Okay, so I just took what is it, Hummingbird again, and now we're gonna take Fancy on the lid. I would say Fancy is one of like my all-time favorite colors in here. I really like Fancy and Feathers a lot. So go ahead and blend that on top of Hummingbird to get that nice cool coloring effect. So I want to get some of that darker color here toward the front. So I'm not adding any extra product, but since this is the one I dusted over the other side, I figured there's still some extra product there. And it'll give a little bit of that coloring without me having to like add it to the brush. And it is. So it's a light dusting, but not like too much. Which I'm definitely here for. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, so Oden I gave me like some free brushes apparently with my, when I purchased. I don't know how that ended up happening, but I ended up getting, where is it? This brush, which is a nice little blender brush, if you will. And then I got like another double-ended brush. So, but this is the last eye look. Let's go ahead and put the little blue in the inner corner, and then we will give my thoughts. So the shade Tropics is what I put in the inner corner for this last look. Now I'll zoom out and we talk about my thoughts. Needless to say, we know I am in love with this palette. I am just over the moon excited and love, and plan on using it quite a bit. So I hope y'all ready for it to be all on your Instagram feeds and all just everywhere. I plan on wearing it to work a lot. I plan on wearing it on weekends. I mean, I'm gonna review other stuff obviously, because like Glam Light is coming out with a whole new collection of like drink palettes I just talked about in this video, or with another video. I don't know. I filmed like, this is my third video tonight, and it's like, I told y'all 12 something night, so I honestly don't remember which video I said what in, but I will definitely be using this palette a lot. And like I said, when you all see this video, you will find out who won this palette along with the 2 other boxes, because I have a mystery box, and then I have 2 boxes I showed you all in the video from my giveaway, my first live stream ever. So one of y'all will get to experience the awesomeness that is on my eyes in one of your boxes. But Like I said, it's 34 bucks. I think it's definitely worth it. I think the color story is amazing. I think their palettes usually retail for like 27 euros or something, so it's not, or 32, it's usually not too much more. And they started doing these book palettes, which I like a little bit better than these. Not that there's anything wrong with these, but I think this one has more colors and that's why. But I just prefer the little book. I think it's cute. I think it's more compact and easier to store, so I'm glad they started going that route. But again, congratulations to Tina Fancy Faves. I am so happy and elated for you that you got an opportunity to make this lovely palette for all of us, your followers, along with this lovely scarf you see I have positioned here in the background. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Let me know which look you like best, because I just like all of them, think all of them are fire, but clearly I'm going to be biased. But like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.